So I want to, this year, because the Purim always comes out, these sort of parshas when it's not the Iber Yar, but this year I was mitzvah to think about Purim in perhaps a new way. What is this Purim about? And I want to speak first about the Oren, which was in the Kodesh HaKadoshim. When you look at the Gemara in Sukkah, we see that the Gemara in Sukkah says that the Oren was placed in the Kodesh HaKadoshim, and the first 10 Tefachim of the Oren were the Reshus of the Klal Yisrael. The first 10 Tefachim. That means it's the whole thing. It's Ad Asor Tefachim. That's you have to have the Kaperes is a Tefach, and the Oren is 9. So 10 Tefachim, that's the Reshus HaYochid by us. And then above that, it's there is the Reshus for the Beroilom. It's there the Reshus for the Beroilom. There he spoke to us, and that was again another 10 Tefachim till the Knofayim from the Keruvim. And this is the Reshus of the Beroilom. So that is in Kodesh HaKadoshim, and there the call comes out. So it's a Shoresh HaTorah, and the Shoresh HaTorah is there by these two Keruvim, which the way the Nefesh Chaim explains, it is this Klal Yisrael and the Beroilom, which they are looking at each other ponim al ponim, and there the Kol HaTorah comes out. But our Reshus is till the end of the Kaperes. Now, but there is a big sot there, because you had to make the Kaperes and the Keruvim in one piece. You can't make the Keruvim alone and put them on the Kaperes. The Kaperes and the Keruvim are miksha. There's one piece of gold. Yeah, but there are two Reshuyas. The Kaperes is shaykh to our Reshus, because our Reshus finished by 10 Tefachim. So the Kaperes is our Reshus. So how can in the world you make a miksha from our Reshus and the Reshus of the Beroilom? So this is hidden in the Kodesh HaKadoshim. This is a thing which you are not able to see. This is a thing which has to be behind the curtain. That this Reshus of the Klal Yisrael, which ends with the 10th Tefach, which is the Kaperes, and the Reshus of the Beroilom, which there he speaks, and he's above that Kaperes, but those are both, they are miksha, they are one piece. But this is a thing you don't see, you don't reveal. That's behind the curtain. You put the paroiches in front of that, and you can't see it. But it's there. This is an unbelievable achtes from the Klal Yisrael and Aviyim Shebashamayim. It's something which is beyond our immediate grasp. It is behind the curtain. Chag Purim, once a year, you take this Kodesh HaKadoshim out and reveal it. It's revealed that the simple reality of the Klal Yisrael, our Reshus, and the Reshus of the Beroilom are the same. But the Gemara says, no, it's there, and by the Kaperes. Because it's a human dimension, which is finishing by the Asoro. So the Asoro, you can't go over that. But it's miksha, it's one piece. There are not two pieces. The Chas v'Sholom is one piece. But lo yordo shchino lemata me'asoro. That's right. And lo yordo Moshe Rabbeinu lemalo. That's right. But it's one piece. Sounds like it's a stire. No. But this unbelievable reality that this is one piece that has to be hidden in front of the Bnei Adam. You can't take that out into the public. It's not shaykh. Torah comes from there. Torah comes from in between the two Keruvim, And there, Rashi says that the Kruvim were Pneim, the Pasuk says that Pneim el Ish Elochiv and El HaKapoires. That the Pneim of the Kruvim were also El HaKapoires. So the Kruvim are like the Klal Yisrael and the Beroilom looking at each other, but they also looked at the Kapoires, because underneath the Kapoires, they were the Luchas. And the Luchas, they are something which is entirely concealed with two mechitzas. One mechitza is this Kapoires, and the other one is the Poroiches. There are two mechitzas there. They are entirely concealed, the Luchas and the Torah inside, the way Rashi says it. But this Rashi says something which is like scary. Rashi says the Torah is called Eidus because the Torah is an Eidus that the Beiro Olam was Metzave the Klal Yisrael. No. The Torah is not the Eidus that the Beiro Olam was Metzave the Klal Yisrael. The Torah is the Tzivui alone. The Torah is where the mitzvahs are told. Torah is not only an Eidus that, wow, that the Beiro Olam told us these mitzvahs. What does that mean? That the Torah is an Eidus. The Torah is not an Eidus, the Torah is a Tzivur Alei. The Luchas are also Luchas or Eidus. So this is already a big thing. That's even bigger. The Nefesh Chaim says in the Shar Beis that why do you say Asher Kiddushono? So the Buch Ato Hashem, but you say Asher Kiddushono. So the Lashon of the Nefesh Chaim is Hametzave Oisonu, Hamekatcheinu is the Beiro Olam, which is Sosu Mikol Stimim. It comes, the Tzivui comes from a place which is above everything, above every expressionable thing. It's above where Torah is revealed. Even though Torah, you can't speak anything besides Torah, because everything you ever think in your life which has substance comes from Torah. But the Beiro Olam himself is above that, for sure. The Beiro Olam himself is above that. And he is Metzaveh. The one which is above everything is Metzaveh. That's the Torah inside. But this is concealed. This is a thing you don't show. But the Kruvim are looking at that Eidus, towards that Eidus, because they say, you know what? This whole matzav of being together, the Klal Yisrael and Aviyim Shabashomayim, this whole matzav stems from a place which is above everything you could imagine, above everything you could ever think about. In that aboveness, Torah is only an Eidus. Torah only gives a testimony that now, yes, my tzivuim are stemming from that place which is unexpressible. That's what the Torah says in this Oren. Eidus. Rashi says the Torah is an Eidus that the Beiro Olam was Metzaveh. It's one of the most awkward things to say, because Torah is not the Eidus that the Beiro Olam was Metzaveh. Torah is the Tzivur Alein. But this Torah, which is underneath the Kruvim, this Torah includes something much bigger, which this Torah there tells us what the one which gave us the Torah, the one which was Metzaveh to us, it's above everything you could imagine. You have to conceal that. You put the poroiches, the kapoires on it, and the Kruvim. And then Torah comes out in an understandable way. The Beiro Olam then tells you that what he wants, and he speaks to Moshe Rabbeinu, what are the tzivuim. But the source of that is from a place which is unimaginable, way above, concealed. Purim, you take the thing out. Purim, you take all those things which you can't speak about. You take it out into the simple reality, because that's what Purim is about. our simple reality, simple as it is way above everything you could imagine. It is miksho with the Roshus for the Boiroilo. And it stems from a place which is way above everything you could ever think. Way above everything. That is where the simplicity of Klal Yisrael stems from. But you can't live with that the whole year. No. The whole year, we live in a very simple way. That this thing is concealed, and we live in a way that we are Mekayim the mitzvahs. And we are doing what the B'Olam told us. But on the day of Purim, it's like we say, we have an Eidos. So we don't have the Eidos of the Torah in the Oren. We don't have that Eidos, because the Oren was Nignas, but we have an Eidos within ourselves. We are the Eidim, that we are stemming from a place which is Miksho Achas with the Boiroilo, way above all what we could ever think. That is what is revealed by Purim. But this needs preparation. That is what you do when you have the Suda, and you have a Suda and you say, I don't need the Das. I don't need this Shikul Das where I know what's right and wrong. That's not the issue now. The issue now is much above that. The issue now is me, myself, my own essence. Because this is Miksho with the Beroilo. Above all the Tzivuim, above everything which is said, there is a thing which this Klal Yisrael, the Reshus of the Klal Yisrael, the Kapoires, and the Krovim, it's all Miksho. But the Krovim is the Reshus for the Beroilo. And the Kapoires is Reshus from us. That's a 10th Tefach, which is our Reshus. That's what the Gemara in Sukkah says. But it's Miksho. It's all the same. You need to conceal that behind the curtain. Purim, you open that curtain. And you are revealing yourself. You are revealing what is Klal Yisrael really about. But that needs the Hagdome. That needs the Mikra Megillah first. Mikra Megillah first means that you see that the Klal Yisrael is way above everything which is called Schar V'Oinesh. Way above. Of course, there is Oirus, which came in this story of the Megillah, was Schar V'Oinesh. This Oirus was that they had to believe, Mordechai Tzaddik, that that it was because they ate from the Sudat Moishe Rosha. It's like an unbelievable Schar V'Oinesh. 12 years ago, the taste of the food is long gone, but still, it's a Schar V'Oinesh which is unbelievable. It goes till the end of the reality, and it could be that the Klal Yisrael Chas v'Sholom will be nullified in one day because of this Nenu Misuda Rosha. Yush. The Suda of Oisei Rosha was Yush. Yush is be'etzem the Shara Chamishim from Tume. Yush is the Shara Chamishim. That is what the Ramban tells us when he says, it doesn't say big about Shara Chamishim, but the end of the Golus Mitzrayim was when they said, what does that mean? The Ramban says they didn't have a tomorrow. But the Shomu and Moshe, that wasn't comforting them that you say tomorrow will be better, because there was no tomorrow. That the Ramban says. There was no place to think that tomorrow will be something, because they were so desperate. They were so low that the whole understanding of that there will be a tomorrow is gone. There's no tomorrow. And that is when the Geula has to come out, because now you reach the fringe of the Shara Chamishim. Now you can't go further. You can't go further like this, because Yush is the worst. And then you have to take them out. Klal Yisrael besudoso shel Oisei Rosha, that was Yush. He made a Suda because he said the 70 years are gone. He made a mistake in the Cheshbon, but the 70 years are gone, and we are finished, and Klal Yisrael is finished. And you went to that Suda? You went to that? Klal Yisrael was nene mi oise suda, shel oise roshe. It was kosher, but they were nene from that, Yush. So Yush is the worst. So when Klal Yisrael is meyush, then there comes the worst thing in the world, and now it could be that mechayev kloya. You are meyush from yourself. But then comes the Gemara and says, Hein loy osu ele lefonim, afani loy ese ele lefonim. This whole thing of schar ve'oinish, and you will be punished because of what you did. It's all outside or in a chitzoniistic level regarding the real plimius, because the real plimius is miksha. You can't be nullified. It's not shaykh. And that is what the Megillah speaks about. The Megillah speaks about that when someone goes against the Klal Yisrael, he will be nullified. And he will be uprooted till the end. This is the whole point of the Megillah. I know that we read the Megillah, and inside, I now tell you what I think everyone thinks inside. Everyone thinks inside whenever that they said it's Homon and they finished with Homon. Now there was a rescue and finished, and now the tension of the story is gone. So you don't really know why do you have to go further on and further on. And she says, no, it's schrecklich, what is the gzeira, and we have to take it off, and it's such a bad thing. You have to get rid of that ra. You have to finish that ra. Because this is the leumas, the way the Klal Yisrael is mechuyev kloya, because there's no reality of Klal Yisrael in the eyes of Haman. Now, this one, which made no reality of Klal Yisrael, has to be erased. It's not that you are rescued. That's not the point. That was by Egypt. In Mitzrayim, you had a rescue. No, it's not being rescued from that. It's that he should be entirely gone from reality. That's the Megillah. So first you have to understand that this is the unbelievable place of Klal Yisrael, which is one miksha with the Borei Olam, that there, the one which thinks that there's a possibility not to be with the Klal Yisrael, there's a world without the Klal Yisrael that has to be nullified, gone, out. So that's the Megillah. And then you have to work on the Klal Yisrael. The way you heard the shir on these halachas, it is Matanis Levyonim. Evyon is a state in the Klal Yisrael, which is a state of a reality which is bad. That's what Evyon means, because the world is made in a way that naturally the needs of the world, the needs have to be met. The needs of the world are naturally met. You never saw a Oni and a Baal Chai, there was no Oni and Baal Chai. There can't be a Oni. That's only by the Olam is like this. And Aniyim in Klal Yisrael is like a bad thing. You have to make a biur hora in the reality of Klal Yisrael. Like on Purim, there are no Aniyim. No, there's no Aniyim. And for sure there are Aniyim, I understand that. But in Purim is a tzir of Klal Yisrael, which there are no Aniyus. There's no Aniyus there. It's also Ein Oni Elo B'das, Ein Oni Elo B'das, but Purim is above that das. No, it's not about your shikul das, it's not about anything. It's about what you are. So there are no Aniyim. So that's Matnes, Matanis Levyonim, no Aniyim there. That is the mitzvah, be'etzah. Matanis Levyonim. Mishloach Monis, it's a biur hora ben adam lechaveroi. Mishloach Monis means that you are connected one with the other. There's no ra in the Klal Yisrael, and you are connected. There is a connection in the Klal Yisrael. You don't stand on your own. So this is the work which has to be done beforehand. You have to understand the Megillah. You have to understand that really Megillah is a place to contemplate that the reality of the Klal Yisrael is such an important thing that it's impossible to nullify that. It's impossible. And it's not only about rescuing Klal Yisrael. It's about that this is impossibility. It's not impossible to be in Golos. It's impossible to be in Golos. But to think that Klal Yisrael will be nullified, that's impossible. Why? Miksho. It's one thing. But what is one thing with the Borei Olam? Not the Kiyum mitzvahs is one thing. It is you as a reality is one thing. And then you have the Mishloach, the Matanos Lev Yodim, the Biur Ra in the Klal Yisrael, no Anim. There's no Ra in the Klal Yisrael. And the relationship between Jews, also Biur Ra, you have a connection one with the other. And then you are making a Mishneh. And then comes this stage where you say, I am happy with my goof. And I eat and I drink. And there's a slow development there to see, I am so happy with what I am. I'm not happy with my Kiyum mitzvahs. I'm not happy with, that's not the issue over here. You are in a stage where you are potter from Kiyum mitzvahs. So what remains? The Jew. And the Jew is Kodesh Kodoshim. And now we understand that was the Nes. That means the Nes of the Megillah, the Nes of Purim, was this: that the simple reality of the Klal Yisrael can't be moved away, not Shayach. That's a Nes. And now Rashi says they were Mekabel Torah mi'ave, but they were not Mekabel Torah mi'avas Torah. They were Mekabel Torah mi'avas Hanes. The Avas Hanes made a new Kabbalah Torah. That's what we spoke in the beginning. That the place where Torah was baked like this, where it was created, was by these two Krovim. In between those two Krovim there, the Borei Olam came and spoke to us, spoke to Moshe Rabbeinu. That means that was the hot Tanur, where the whole Torah came down, in between the two Keruvim, above that Kaporos. That's where the Torah came down. Avas Hanes is the Ave that we see that we and the Borei Olam are Miksho. We and the Borei Olam are Miksho Achas. So there we were Makabel Torah, Ave. Because they said, yes, that is the place of Kabbalah Torah. There we get Torah. We don't get Torah as people which are staying apart from the Borei Olam. We are staying across the river or across the street or across the stender. When I am going to a Rebbe, I am not miksho with a Rebbe. No, I am on my own. Yeah? I'm not miksho. That's not the miksho. No, I'm on my own. The good yachas for the Talmid of the Rebbe is like when the Talmid is going into his own reshus, then he's niftar miraboy. That is the tzir of a Rebbe Talmid. I have my own reshus, he has his reshus, and I get everything I have from the Rebbe, but I'm standing on my own reshus. But it's not miksho. I'm not miksho there. Okay, I don't want to now there is something by the Rebbe which is from me too. Okay, but be'etzem, I'm standing my own reshus. But in this tziyur, which is concealed behind the curtain, there we see we are all one with the Borei Olam. And there the Torah comes out. So mi'avas hanes, they were Makabel Torah. And says, yes, when we are such an entirety, such a one thing with the Borei Olam, when we are such a one thing, there we are Makabel Torah. And this is Kabbalah Torah mi'ave. That's what we got. Kabbalah Torah mi'ave, mi'avas hanes. Not mi'avas Torah, no, the mi'avas hanes. Because the nes revealed that depth in the Klal Yisrael. So I think this needs preparation throughout the day. Now you see it's no place of being stam, hooligan or things like this. That's not the point of the shichas. The point of the shichas is this slowly going into that work that you more and more see that the simple reality of you being Jewish is miksho achas with the Borei Olam, a thing which is not revealed throughout the year at all, only one day a year. That's the Purim. So let's go and make that part of ourselves, that we say, yes, we are, as a Jewish nation, we are much bigger. We are much more important than we thought, but not because we are intelligent, not because we are so skillful, not because we are so long here in the history, not because of any reason, because of one reason, because we are Jewish. And the Jewish nation is miksha with the Borei Olam. That's it. No other reason involved. No specific tzivui, no specific things. The simple reality of me. That is what is the Kodesh HaKodoshim in the Beis HaMikdash, and that is the Kodesh HaKodoshim within our neshama. And only one day a year, you open up this curtain, you look in, and you see, there, we at the Borei Olam are miksho achas. Let's put that down after Purim. But let's take that message in. Let's take that as a basis. And Torah will come out from there. So we are mekabel Torah mi'ave through the Avas Hanes. So this is what I wanted to tell you as a little bit a new explanation, a new take on this kaporos with the Kruvim, with the Gemara in Sukkah. That was for me very surprising, that it's our reshus and his reshus, but it's miksho. That is the thing of the kaporos, and the depth is that this is rooted in a place which is above everything. The Torah there is only an edus that it comes from the Borei Olam. There, that whole thing is rooted, and that's again concealed even more. And that's our simcha on Purim, above all the limits, without this shikul hadas which always puts limitations. No, it is without limitations, but only once a year, and our simple reality is by the Borei Olam. This is what I think is an enormous source of simcha within Purim. So that's what I wanted to give the bracha to myself, and I can't be more of myself, and also to all the people over here, that we should experience the Purim the way it has to be experienced.